everyone! Let's create, appreciate, and F that hate. Welcome back to Nikkaflora. I hope you guys had a great weekend. As for me, I had a pretty good weekend. I watched the movie Soul Plane for the first time ever, and oh my god, it's just one of the funniest movies that I've ever seen. You guys should check it out, but I gotta warn you, it's not a movie for kids. I feel pretty refreshed, and now I'm back to the grind. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about how to practice storytelling. I've been wanting to do this idea for a while, but it took me a while to kind of figure out what it is I wanted to talk about. I've also written more information about this in my blog post, which is called How to Practice Storytelling on Nikkaflora.com, same title as this video. Feel free to click on the link in the description below to check it out. But anyways, let's move on to the video. When I think of a story, it's almost like giving a speech, in a way. I may not be physically speaking in front of large crowds, but other people would still be reading what I've written down, or perhaps listening and watching to what I'm saying in this video right now. If you want to tell a story that you want others to read, I would start off by thinking about what kind of people you want to reach out to. In other words, define your target audience. This is something I learned more in detail when I was in school. It wasn't a creative writing class, but one of the most important things I learned is that whatever you're writing, whatever you're designing, whatever it is you want to create, it could be anything really. It's not going to be for everyone. You can't be everything to everyone anyways. People have their own different opinions. When you go to stores and check out their book sections, like Target for example, they would normally have signs that indicate these different kind of categories. There would be young adult, children's, middle school, etc. I recommend going to these stores just to check out these different categories and see what kind of books are already written. This is actually one way you can do research on your potential target audience. I feel like it makes the whole storytelling process easier when you have a clear idea of who you want to show your story to. My second tip to help you how to practice storytelling is to read 5 books that your target audience already likes. The books you've chosen don't even have to be in the same genre you want to write for. I personally love reading romance stories and comics. That's pretty much almost all of what I read about. But at times I read other genres too, because I want to learn different styles and I want to see what they offer as well. For example, I read this fantasy book years back. I don't normally read fantasy books and medieval types of stuff like some of my friends do. The closest thing I read before is probably about vampires. I wanted to try out that fantasy book because it had a genie in it, which is something I don't normally see in books. And I wanted to see what that was like. I don't remember the name of it because I hate the story. And it's not Aladdin, by the way. I don't even know if Aladdin... I've seen Aladdin, the movie, but I don't even know if they have a book. But yeah, just letting you know. Anyways, I usually like the books that I read, but I hated this one so much that I complained about it to my friends for a few weeks straight. I couldn't stand the main character because she was the kind of girl who wanted someone to just swoop right in and save her, the damsel in distress type. The girl constantly complained about how hard her life was. Oh, I'm so lonely, oh, I'm invisible. And then, I get it, a lot of people do feel that way too. But then, the other main character, her love interest, which was pretty much the genie, he just granted her wishes and then her life automatically becomes perfect. And I don't even know why the genie was attracted to her. Like, that's one of the things I was most confused about in the story. But obviously, they both fall in love. Her life becomes perfect by the end of the story. But in my head, when I was reading it, I was like, what the heck? I'm like, where's the struggle? The main character isn't gonna try to make things, like, better on her own. Like, I don't know. I don't count, like, wishing on a genie as that. I don't count that. I was just lost throughout the whole story. But... you know, that's just my personal opinion. Other people that have read that story see it a lot differently than I do. Even though I hated the story, I still made some pretty interesting observations. I actually learned more about the damsel in distress archetype and how to improve male characters as well. If I did not read that book, if I chose to only stay in one genre, I would have not learned these kind of things. But anyways, the reason why I say 5 books is because I feel like that's a good number to start off with. You can read more if you want to, but not everyone is an avid reader like I am and may not always have the time to read every day. I'm also working on reading at least 5 books for this year. So far, I've finished 3. Honestly, I would have reached my goal already, but I've been keeping up with my comics weekly rather than regular books. Reading books, when you pay attention to the content, will make you a better storyteller because you would get more familiar with how existing stories are written. You can learn about what works and what doesn't work for you, like that fantasy book example I showed earlier. One last thing you can do on how to practice storytelling is to write 1-page short stories. They can be about anything. Take the time to think of some ideas, grab some paper, or use a computer if that's your preference, and just start writing. I used to do this a lot as a kid. At first, I was actually forced to do these short stories because they were school assignments, but I eventually grew to enjoy them on my own, and I started doing them. I've written this story back in like 3rd grade, and it was about a mouse. I literally wrote about a regular mouse and how much he liked cheese. That was just the whole story. I remember just thinking about my childhood memories one day, and then this part just popped up. And then I was like, oh yeah, I did write about that. His name was probably Mouse too. Mouse the mouse that likes cheese. Obviously, that's not the best story that I've written, but the good thing about it is that it actually got me to write stories more consistently. And honestly, another thing I learned is that my friends, they always tell me that it's just good to start small and build your way up, to try to appreciate your progress. But yes, anyways, thank you for watching my video on how to practice storytelling. I hope you enjoyed it. You can click on the link in the description below to check out my blog post for more info. Again, it's also called How to Practice Storytelling. I can't believe I almost forgot what I was talking about for the video. Jesus. I've been filming this for a while. But anyways, click on the link in the description below to check out my blog post. I would pretty much appreciate it, and it has more info. Feel free to check out my other content too. Join the Nikkaflora fam today by visiting Nikkaflora.com and subscribe to my mailing list and my social media. I would pretty much appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe to the Nikkaflora channel, give this video a thumbs up, and click on that notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. Feel free to comment down below if you have any other tips about storytelling, or if you want to share stories that you guys have written about. I mean, I started it off already. I wrote a story about a mouse. Someone else could write about a cat. Someone else could write about a dog, a dinosaur, a dragon. We could do like every other mythical creature or any other animal that has ever existed on Earth. I don't know. Like, why not start that trend? But we'll see, I guess. I'll be back with a new video next Saturday. And by the way, I'm uploading a video every Saturday now. Forgot I was gonna say something. Anyways, I'm uploading a new video and a blog post every Saturday now. Until then, let's create, appreciate, and F that hate. Bye guys!